Oh, that was annoying. I still have yet to figure out what button causes that to do that. I think, I'm not sure what, there's a button I'm hitting that's causing the stream to stop, and I'm still not sure which one it is. It wasn't the internet. There was some button I hit that causes it to go stupid on us. Yeah, there really was a button. I think it's spacebar, but I'm not sure. Because it seems to be the key that I hit the most, and the one that causes it to, when I'm in the wrong screen, causes it to die. So, I'm going to have to retitle this video since I'm still streaming. Alright, so what cards... I have 9 slots. They have to be interaction. They have to be some type of counter spells. I think one card I want is Pull from Tomorrow. Yeah, I probably want Condescend. That is an interesting art on Condescend. I probably also want Search for Azcanta, at least as a one of in the main deck. Probably put another one in the sideboard for the grindier matchups. This is kind of what I was afraid of with this deck, though. So we've got a lot going on here, but there's just a lot of air in the deck. Maybe I gotta cut one map to get a little more interaction in here. We need some amount of counter spells that Gearhulk can actually flash back. So, what is the next best counter spell? Is it Remand? Remand feels so awful in a true control deck, though. Yeah, I guess we'll get another search in here, and then our final spell. Uh, Cryptic, we can't reliably cast Cryptic, is the problem. That's the problem with running the... That's why the mono blue control decks don't run it. The mono blue Tron decks. I think the final card should probably be Cyclonic Rift, because I can both take advantage of the overload mechanic with the Tron lands, and can deal with a problematic permanent. Space Marine, I'm already running 3 Condescend. I need a spell that I can actually flash back with Torrential Gearhulk. I mean, I'll do it, but then the final main deck card will be Cyclonic Rift. Play Snappy instead of what? Okay. If I play Snapcaster Mage, how do we win the game? Counter for free, the 3 that puts the card on top of its opponent's library. I understand we can win with Nexus of Fate, but we still have to kill our opponent. We don't have... Okay, Nexus of Fate is not in this deck to take infinite turns. It's there to grab with Mystical Teachings to take 1 or 2 extra turns to kill our opponent. And I love Snapcaster Mage, but Snapcaster Mage is horrible at actually killing the opponent. Whereas, because right now all we have in our main deck is... I understand it was for fun, but if I was just going to play Snapcaster Mage, I wouldn't run Tron lands, and I wouldn't... Okay, the whole reason I built this deck was to take advantage of Mystical Teachings and Torrential Gearhulk and Nexus of Fate. Snapcaster Mage would be much better in a blue-black control deck without the Tron lands. If I was just trying to build blue-black control, I wouldn't be jumping through hoops to play Tron lands. I agree it's for fun, but the Gearhulks and the Nexus of Fates are the have fun part with the Tron lands. So I think this is about as close to a well-balanced main deck as I can get. Given everything else going on. Nexus deck. Alright. So that's the main deck. The sideboard, I definitely want another Engineered Explosives to be able to go get with Teleria West. Probably want the card Consume the Meek. Okay, so here, everybody that's in the chat, how many of you know what Consume the Meek does before, without looking it up, or without me typing it in? Oh. Consume. This is also another reason to run Torrential Gearhulk. Given the current format, I think a 3 of surgical extraction, possibly even a 4th, is completely necessary. I also want put another Field of Ruin or Ghost Quarter effect in the sideboard. I probably also want to put a Bajuka Bog in the sideboard to be able to go get with Teleria West and Expedition map. Hinder. Let's go take a look at Hinder. Certainly a card we could put on our to-try list in the future. Probably want a couple copies of Negate in the sideboard here. Trying to think. Probably want a couple copies of Collective Brutality, even though it really doesn't synergize with the rest of the deck. It does help against some of our weaker matchups, which is combo and fast aggro. Yeah, I think trying to avoid as many double casting cost spells as possible. It's part of the reason I'm not playing the Consume the Meek in the main deck. I think we'll just cut one Consume the Meek, open up a few sideboard slots here. 3 Surgicals, a Bog. Consume the Meek. A couple of Negates. Not sure if I want Tribute to Hunger or Devouring Flesh here in the sideboard. Just run one for now. And it's probably also more practical. This gives us another out to Bogles, gives us another out to potentially gain some life against Burn. So this is where I gotta get into the sideboarding goofiness here. Alright, so what else do I want in my deck? Probably want a copy or two of Worm Coil Engine. Like one Worm Coil Engine. And then that gives us more game against the mid-range decks and more game against the aggro decks if we can land this on like turn 4 or 5. Should hopefully be enough tools to have a decent game against Burn. What other matchup am I like afraid of in the top whatever decks in Modern? Humans, Control, Burn, Ironworks combo, Jeskai Control, Vengevine, Pyromancer, Shadow Storm. I have Rift and an Engineered Explosives as main deck sweepers for the matchups we really need sweepers. And I have the Consume the Meek and the Engineered Explosives to bring in as sweepers number 3 and 4 if we have to. May not be enough against the dedicated fast aggro decks, but it's probably enough for now. One more slot in the sideboard. Is it just a third Brutality? Trying to think if there's any other like really powerful instant that I'm not thinking of. Gonna get this Ghost Quarter out here. I think I want, because of the fact I'm playing a control deck, I think I want Field of Ruin. And then need one more card. It's probably got to be an anti-aggro card. Just another removal spell, or do we just go with like another Brutality? Guess if I really don't want to lose to Burn, I can just run another Collective Brutality. So it's kind of where we're at for our initial build of blue-black Tron. It's kind of funsy, but kind of realistic. I don't know. Maybe we're not going balls to the walls enough on the Tron package. Maybe we're going too hard on Mystical Teachings. It's definitely an interesting thought process and deck building. But, yeah. I think that's going to be it for the deck building. I got to go back and relabel this as blue-black Tron deck building. But long story short, those of you that missed the first part of the deck building, go back and watch the end of the Black-Red Hollow video where we started building this. Not going heavy on the Tron, only 3 Tron pieces. We want to take advantage of Tron, but not be reliant upon it. Expedition map to help tie together all the lands. Academy Ruins and Teleria West as kind of tutor targets, ability to tutor. So we literally can like Expedition map for Teleria West to go grab one of our 0 casting cost? That is the question, isn't it, Space Marine? Probably tomorrow. I've got to get some World of Warcraft stuff done this afternoon before the new expansion drops this evening. Unfortunately, I don't have the expansion yet. I gotta wait for funds to do so. So, that's gonna be probably tomorrow, be my guess. Just to take a break from grinding really, really, really hard on the new stuff, on the good decks. Probably just play a couple matches with this. But, it's probably where we're gonna be at today. If I get through all the WoW stuff and the stuff I gotta do around the house, I might get to it this evening. But more likely tomorrow afternoon. So, alright. Anyways, quick wrap up on the deck. It's a blue-black control-based flash deck, trying to abuse mystical teachings. Everything in the main deck pretty much has flash, or we can tutor for some way or other. The only cards that don't have flash are Walking Ballista and Engineered Explosives, which we can go get with Teleria West. Teleria West we can go get with Expedition Map. So it's got a bit of tutoring going on. Nexus of Fate allows us to close out the game once we get like a Torrential Gear Hulk and a Vendilion into play, or a large Walking Ballista. So we can set up where we can take like 1 or 2 turns in a row, or 2 or 3 turns in a row, close out with a Walking Ballista if our opponent overcommits. Engineered Explosives and Cyclonic Rift is kind of your pseudo sweepers in the main deck. Some Fatal Pushes and Cast Downs, try to keep your opponent's early rush under control. Remands and Condescends, try to keep their early plays under control. Search for Azcanta, Thirst for Knowledge, and Pull for Tomorrow is our card advantage spells. Obviously Vendilion disrupts combo, Torrential Gear Hulk, pretty much our catch-all flashback dude. Can also cycle it with Academy Ruins, which makes it a little bit easier for us to win the game. In case our opponent kill spells everything. We have one of Commit to Memory, which can be a card advantage slash disruption. And that's pretty much the main deck. Obviously, Pull for Tomorrow, Condescends, Walking Ballistas. The sideboard, I'm figuring our weakest matchups are going to be the fast aggressive decks and the fast combo decks. There's a lot of graveyard crap running around right now, so 3 surgical extractions, 1 Bazooka Bog, hopefully that's enough to disrupt them. Another Engineer Explosives and Consume the Meek in matchups where we need more sweepers. A couple of negates as kind of a catch-all against things like Burn or anything like Nauseam, Storm, any random decks, Tron, the actual Tron matchup. Field of Ruin, there against control matchups where you need another land drop. Also there against things like Tron and Valakut. In decks where your opponent's got like a bunch of creature lands. 3 Collective Brutalities might be a little excessive. I don't like losing to Burn as a Burn player. I don't like losing to it. Also can double as a removal spell against faster aggro decks, can gain you a little bit of life. Devour Flesh helps you to gain a little bit of life, or as another removal spell. Can be relevant against things like Bogles. Couple Wormcoil Engines kind of hedges as both the mid-range like Jund and Pyromancer matchups as a grindy tool. Also pretty good against the aggro decks if you can land it. So, alright, see you later, War Dog. And then Consume the Meek, pretty much as a sweeper. So, gonna be it. Wrapping up for this morning with this kind of pseudo deck tech. Once we got through the deck building process, kind of what's going on. Definitely some cards that are fluid. So, alright, catch everybody later. This has been Dust for Dust on Gaming with our building and quick deck tech on Blue Black Tron.